Hey everyone, how you going? Give it up one more time for Kentaro. Thanks everyone for coming down. As Margaret said before, my name's Nick Power. I'm a b-boy and also a choreographer. So that's my background. And joined by Arthur here, who's going to interpret for us. I'd just like to give a shout out to the Japan Foundation and also Critical Path and Dancekool as well for making it all happen. So we're just going to have a bit of a chat about things, and I guess I'd just like to start by saying fantastic solo. And I'm just interested to know about the process of that particular performance and whether there's room for freestyle as in improvisation, or was it actually all choreographed the whole way through?
There's a structure around it, so that's pretty much set. I can't really change that part of it, but within that framework, about half of it is preset, and the other half of it is stuff that I'm improvising on the fly.
Okay, and do you start, when you say there's a structure around it, is there certain concepts that you're exploring within that structure, or is it a movement language, a certain style of movement that you're exploring?
The piece you saw was something that I performed last week, or it's part of something that I performed in Japan last week. And it didn't really come together till the last minute because it was waiting on music. So basically the music dictates quite a lot of how things are structured within the piece, and then that starts to determine the set sequence of moves.
Okay, cool. Just check it, can everyone hear? No. Oh, we have to speak up.
So apart from the Debussy piece, the classical piece, and the hip-hop piece with the vocals in it, everything else I came up with, but those two things were sourced.
Yeah, wow. And so when you make the music, I'm just interested in whether you make the music first and then the dance comes because of that style that you've created within the music, or do you have a piece, a dance piece that you go then to the music and create the music for that piece?
So at the moment I don't really have a desire to dance in a particular way, So my preference at the moment is to actually structure things around editing things together, and so I have different moods in my music, and I want to basically match them up or edit them together like in a movie, and that would actually offer me opportunities to come up with things. So that's the way I'm choosing to work at the moment.
Cool. And when there was parts of that piece that seemed like you were connecting really strongly with, you know, certain emotions and things like that. Because the piece is structured to an extent, but also has an element of freestyle and improvisation. Do you find those moods change and what you're feeling changes with each performance?
So there are elements that do change, but because the music's there, it actually dictates quite a bit what the emotional cues are, and in turn that means that the variations aren't as much as you would expect.
Okay, cool. And I guess we'll just jump back to your beginnings a little bit with hip hop, especially. What made you want to start dancing? Was it a class, or did you see a TV show, or did you hear some music and rocked out? Or
when I was young, my mother introduced me to the music videos of Michael Jackson and Madonna, so I was very familiar with those sorts of dance routines. But also, there was a dance competition on television, so those sorts of things influenced me greatly when I was very young.
and from there, did you find a crew? Like sometimes in hip hop, like one of the avenues is to go and jam with a crew, be a member of a crew, or go to training spots, or did you go to a class, or how did you learn, or self-taught?
From the age of 13, for about 5 years, I studied at a dance studio. And from 18, basically I did on my own. But I did actually get a crew together in the context of the dance studio.
Okay. And did you do battles and things like that when you were coming up? Was that your pathway?
I bet you have to go back a decade, but I used to do those, yes.
Awesome. It's important. And so from that sort of foundation of hip hop, what made you want to go into then sort of making full-length works and into kind of using contemporary choreographic techniques and things like that? What was the catalyst that made you do that?
So the original struggle for me with hip hop was that if you do hip hop pieces, they tend to be short, and I wanted to do something that was a lot longer. And I also took up drama as well, and it's in that context of wanting to do something longer that could be sustained with meanings that I hit upon contemporary dance, because in contemporary dance there are moments where you don't have to have audio and people can be moving, and you can actually have sequences that resemble drama. So I thought if I could actually get to that point, then I could do longer pieces that may go for about an hour.
Cool. And so what steps did you take to do that? Because as you said, if you're doing a battle, like you might do a set and it takes 30 seconds, or maybe you're doing a showcase and it's usually one song, like 3.5 minutes or 5 minutes. How did you take the steps to then go to 30 minutes or even longer?
it actually was hard because there was no actual method to get me to that side of things. So when I was young, I actually went and watched a lot of stage performances, like 100 a year, and I would actually try to draw in as much as possible, get some clues as to how to get something longer, and basically it's a process of absorbing as much as possible and taking it inside and then trying to get something happening as a method that got me there in a sense.
And now, have you had during your course of you've been doing it for 10 years now, that's right, isn't it? That you've been choreographing for 10 years.
長いのを作ってからは12 years.
About 12 years. And so during the course of that time, did you have mentors that helped you to refine those techniques, or was it self-taught? And you just sort of found ways. I know that was kind of your answer just then, but I'm interested also, were there mentors along the way that helped you refine in hip hop or contemporary?
作品はもういなくて、最初ソロでずっと作ってて、一人でやってて、そういう大きいコンペで賞をもらうまでは誰もいなかった。
So basically I was doing it on my own, and really it was very much a solo thing, and until I won a competition, no one really took notice of the fact that I was doing the longer pieces.
Wow. I'd just like to talk about Tokyo Electroc Stairs. Now, is that your crew or your company? Would you call it a crew or a company? It's your company. Okay. And so are they made up of dancers that you've auditioned or have taught, or how did that come about? How did it come about, I guess, yeah.
At the moment there are 4 core members, including myself, so the other 3 are essentially people I taught, and that's sort of something that's grown over an 8-year period.
Okay. And the company is toured all through Europe and through Asia also, is that correct?
来年また3月にシドニーで多分やるんですけど、2月にアメリカで、あとヨーロッパで。
I've done bits and pieces. We'll be back in Sydney in March next year. In February next year we'll be in America, and we'll also go to Malta.
All right.
Europe.
Doing it. And when you're with your Tokyo Electroc Stairs, do you make all the moves up yourself, or do you collaborate with the dancers to make the work?
I'll make it all myself.
So you're like, now do this. Also, I always ask hip hop artists, do you find the term hip hop dance problematic? Do you have a problem with the term hip hop dance?
僕自身はあんまりコンテンポラリーダンサーというのがなくて、フォークダンサーというのがあんまりいないんですけど、日本ではすごいストリートダンスがすごく流行っていて、僕みたいなこういうちょっと変わった活動っていうのはほとんど認知されていないと思います。
I don't consider myself a contemporary dancer. I don't even know if I'm a hip hop dancer. What we're doing is pretty unique, and I'm sure there are certain quarters of Japanese society that just don't see any legitimacy in it, but we carry on.
Yeah. The reason I ask that question is because it's every time I get a different answer from different hip hop artists, and because for me hip hop is a culture made up of different elements: MCing, breaking, graffiti art, and DJing. But over the last 10 years or so, this term hip-hop dance has come in, and for me it's always sort of been street dance, and there's popping and there's locking and there's these other elements to it, but hip-hop dance for me is doesn't quite make sense because to me it's a culture. But because now every dance studio, I mean, dance school is legit, you know, like they're legitimately hip hop. But there's a lot of dance schools, dance studios around the place that just teach hip hop dance. And it's usually bad jazz, to be honest. But yeah, so I had a little problem around the hip hop dance. But
In Japan, there are no such concerns.
yeah, right. That's interesting. Just like, yeah, cool. I was going to open it up to the audience. You just jumped right in there. Awesome.
The Japanese society is conservative in a way about this kind of dancing. Most Japanese are shy to dance, even in public. Here he comes and does all these things. How was the reaction in Japan? And is it only popular in Tokyo or is it very expanded somewhere else?
I have to say, it's not like what we're doing is super popular or anything, but we're in Tokyo, and I have a contrarian bent. So if there's something out there in the mainstream, I feel like I'm responding to it through our dance. That much is true. That it's sort of a countercultural sort of thing. That makes sense.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask what were some of the themes that emerge in your dancing? Are there particular stories or feelings that you go through while dancing?
Not much of a story thing, much a narrative. But I do work hard to structure the music so that it has an emotional arc.
What is your vision of dance in the future?
Personally, I kind of feel like I can quit at any moment. This is because I go through periods where I feel like it's all doomed and there's no future at all.
But we could all relate.
I suppose then the question is, what keeps you going?
I've only ever done this, so it's not like I have any other means of living. So life is outside of dance.
You're stuck traveling the world dancing, man. I'm sorry about that. Anyone else?
Are you going to teach a class here? Is it?
We did a workshop today.
Anyone else?
Last chance.
No? Thanks so much for coming, everyone.
Japan, if you want to tell the people this is Japanese dancing, this is what we do, what would you do?
the important part isn't the Japanness or the Japaneseness of me or my people doing it. The really important part of this is the contemporariness, that this is right now, this is how we feel, this is what we want to show as a result of what we feel. That's the important part of what we're doing.
So is it a way of revolting or changing?
That's a part of it. It is somewhat political in a sense.
I like the idea of the end on the note of dance being political. It's a great place to end. I just want to thank once again you all for coming. I'd like to thank Nick for asking the questions, Arthur for translating, Kentaro for a fantastic workshop, a great performance, and for talking about your work as well. And to thank Dancekool for hosting us today, and most of all, I think they're all out of the room, Japan Foundation for bringing Kentaro here this weekend, and also last weekend we had a great performance and workshop from Datsuryoku-kei, and hopefully there'll be more of these opportunities to come. So thank you once again.